Good evening, Dr. Knijff. Would you like to answer a couple of questions for me?
Sure, I'll be happy to.
Now, why Brahms, why Dvorak, why Brahms Dvorak?
The Brahms Dvorak Festival that we're doing here now is really a kind of sequel to the one-day Beethoven Festival we did back in June. And the Beethoven Festival was in a way not a sequel, but maybe a bit of a response to the Armidale Bach Festival earlier in the year. Which was a lot of fun. And so after the Bach Festival in May, which of course was not our organization, and after the Beethoven Festival, which we did, it seems logical to go for the third big B in music history: Bach, Beethoven, Brahms.
And then Dvorak.
Dvorak came along because I did not think that Brahms, unlike Bach or Beethoven, I did not really think that Brahms could be completely on his own for a weekend. I think that would be just pushing things a little bit too much for both performers and audience. And I also liked the idea of contrasting, in a way, Brahms music with the music of his great protege, Dvorak. They're so often mentioned together, and yet I think Dvorak's music is so much less known than Brahms. And even if it's known, it's usually considered a little bit less good somehow. And by confronting them with each other in this festival, I think perhaps people might say, gee, Dvorak, it's much better than I thought. At least that's what my own experience has been in preparing for a number of festival concerts. I don't think Brahms has diminished in any way, in my understanding, but Dvorak, I think, has gained. And if that is the case with some of the audience members, I'd be very, very happy, because I think Dvorak is really very beautiful.
All right. So what was the inspiration of making this event, or these events?
Well, we did the Beethoven Festival in June, as I said, sort of in response to the Bach Festival in May, and in a very different way, I think. It was only one day, one Saturday, all Beethoven from 10 o'clock in the morning till 6 or 6:30 in the evening, all kinds of stuff, and it was a lot of fun. It was nice. It was a bit of work to organize. We organized it in very little time, and lots of people contributed, which is nice. And at the end of the day, I simply asked the audience, I said, well, would you like us to do something like this again, maybe in November or something? And I think a lot of people said yes. I did not hear anybody say no. So basically I said, okay, well, then we'll do it. And then I thought about it for an hour or 2 or 3, I don't remember. I think by the time we went out for dinner that same evening, I had a strong feeling that it would be Brahms and maybe Dvorak. But that may also be because with my friend and musical partner Schmalz, we are the Armidale Piano Duo, we had already been playing quite a bit of Brahms, even before the Beethoven Festival. And so that was a possibility. And so yeah, the inspiration directly was the Beethoven Festival, and I suppose you could say its success.
All right. So how much time would you say would be put into this Brahms Dvorak Festival?
Collectively, between all the people participating?
Preferably both. individual and...
Oh gosh, I don't know. Speaking for myself, organization and preparation, well, many hours obviously. I mean, it would have to be easily an hour a day for a number of weeks now, but I think probably more than that. When you add it up, I prepared the program with myself. That took quite a bit of time. There's a lot of rehearsing going all the time. There was all the asking of performers, emails here, emails there, reminding people of this and that, scores, printing out, la-di-da. I would not be surprised. I mean, it's going to be easily something like 50 hours, speaking strictly for myself, but quite possibly more, I think, not counting the festival itself, the weekend. Collectively, between all the performers, I couldn't possibly tell you. There's a lot of people participating, I have not counted them, but it's going to be collectively, I think, a few hundred hours at least.
All right.
Which I think is great, because that means, quite apart from the 2-day festival where people play and listen, I think all these people, Armadalians, New Englandians, and Australians from a little bit further away. We have performers coming from Sydney, Broken Hill, the Gold Coast, Bellingen, even Tamworth, and all these people have spent so many hours with Brahms and or Dvorak in the last month or 6 weeks or something, and that I think is fantastic, and that will, I think, I'm pretty sure, inspire them maybe to do more with Brahms and or Dvorak in their own performing career or with students. And I think that is fantastic, that idea.
So what kind of turnout are you expecting and hoping for all this effort?
Well, I mean, but as you said, in a way I find a more important turnout than how many people turn up for the concerts in the festival. All these performers, from a 9-year-old organist, an 11-year-old violinist, and another 11-year-old violinist, and yet another one, I think, to seasoned professionals with international careers, or almost retired from such an international career. All these people have invested so much time lately in Dvorak and Brahms for the festival. The performance in the festival itself is just a moment. It goes sometimes very quick, 1 song, 2 songs, 3 songs, 1 or 2 organ pieces. But they have been working on this music all the time, and that must have a result in their lives, in their careers, in their work with students. So that for me is the most important thing. But in terms of audience on the weekend, I would think that likely I would hope that we get something close to 200 people. Those 200 may not be all there for all the events, but my bet is that some 200 people will probably turn up for the festival. A number of them, I don't know exactly how many, but a few dozen I think, may be there almost all the time. And maybe a few more will come for a number of short events, and maybe a number will come for only 1 or 2 events with their teacher or their student or their friend or husband or wife performing, and all that is perfectly fine. But my bet would be that we get something like 200 people to that church.
Alright, if I want to see this, when and where do I have to be?
Well, Saturday morning, and you better be in time at 10 o'clock for the first performance, which is the American String Quartet by Dvorak. 10 o'clock, Saturday morning, November 17th, at the United Church in Armadale. And most of the festival takes place at the United Church in Armadale, with a few small exceptions. On Saturday morning, a little bit later, 11:15, we have a wonderful little event called Waltzing Johannes. Not Waltzing Matilda, but Waltzing Johannes. And that takes place on 141 Erskine Street in Armadale. And for that one, it would be good, if you wanted to come, to send us an email to the festival email address armadale.festival@gmail.com that you're coming and with how many people, and then we can try to reserve a place for you. Of course, space is very limited at that place, but we need a place with 2 pianos.
Alright, so is there any particular reason why you chose these spots?
The Uniting Church is a very nice place here in Armadale to make music. It's big enough to host a number of people and not too big. It has a reasonable piano, nice piano, a very lovely 19th century historic organ, and maybe most important of all, I feel at home there because I perform there every week with Jan-Piet's Choice. So it's a bit a home base, but it's really a pleasant place for performances.
Alright, so do you have any last shout-outs?
Do I have any
Shout-outs.
shout-outs? Well, everybody must come. If you don't come, you miss out on something terrific, I think.
Alright, thank you.